أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Now with the main headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi says that some precursory signs of Imam Mahdi's reappearance may not take place. Toronto-based Ja'fari Community Centre launches Faith Consulting for Women service. Top French court upholds ban on Muslim dress and abayas. Guatemala, at least 6 people dead and 12 missing in landslides after heavy rain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Yunus Dawood and you're watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV 3. The daily scholarly meetings of Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Hussein al-Shirazi was held on the Sunday, the 9th of Rabi' al-Awwal. In this session, like the previous meetings, the Marja' answered the questions of the attendees about various jurisprudence issues. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi said that the Imam Mahdi Ajjallah Ta'ala Farajah al-Sharif and other infallible Imams alayhum salam have instructed people to pray for the purpose of bringing forward the awaited reappearance, but have forbidden us from determining the time of the reappearance. His Eminence explained that the meaning of the two words, وَيَقَتُونَ وَالْمُسْتَعْجِلُونَ. The Marja' also pointed out to the certainty of the reappearance of Imam al-Hujjah alayhi salam. Let's watch the statements of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi together.
عرض کردم علامات ظهور روایتی از حضرت رضا علیه السلام هست و حضرت عرض کرد ممکنه این علامات نشه و حضرت ظاهر بشن. فرمودن بله. عرض کرد و حضرت میشه اصلا حضرت ظهور نکنن اصلا تا روز قیامت؟ فرمودن نه نمیشه. و حضرت عرض کرد فارق چیه؟ فرمودن فارقش اینه ظهور وعد خداست، ان الله لا یخلف المیعاد، و علامات وعیده و خلاف وعید اصلا فضیلته. ممکنه خدا خلاف وعید کنه. وعید یعنی مثل اینکه فرض کنید یه پدر به پسرش گفت اگه نمره آوردی جایزه بهت میدم. این وعده. اگه نمره آورد جایزه نده بده. خدا وعد و مخالفت نمیکنه. اما به پسرش گفت اگه نمره نیاوردی تو خونه رات نمیدم. حالا اگه نمره نیاورد این تو خونه راش بده بده؟ نه خوبه. یعنی مخالفت وعید فضیلته. حضرت رضا صلوات الله علیه تو اون روایت فرمودن که علامات ظهور همش وعیده، ولی حالا ممکنه خدا مخالفت وعید کنه علامات نشه و حضرت یهو ظاهر بشه. اما وعد خود ظهور حضرت وعده و خدا مخالفت وعد نمیکنه. و صلی الله علی محمد و آله.
The Ja'fari Community Centre in Toronto, Canada, one of the centres affiliated to the Shia Muslim community, has launched Faith Consultant for Women service with the aim of receiving women's questions, answering their religious queries and spreading the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam, especially for female converts. The centre's administration said on its official website that this service provides religious guidance to the Shia women and followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam inside and outside of Canada. It added that a number of consultants remain available to give counsel to the believing sisters via email, phone or direct meeting to receive questions related to the teachings and knowledge of the Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. The administration continued that the service has been widely welcomed by the female Muslim community and we have a large list of women who would like to communicate with the faith consultant and ask their questions, as well as for non-Muslim women who want to learn about Islam and the Shia belief. The centre's officials pointed out that the consultants are working also on sending a weekly letter to the women, including in the mailing list, and these letters cover a variety of topics to help understand religious and practical issues. They also explained that there are monthly sessions held within the centre on personal development and self-improvement, which are interactive sessions in which women discuss ways to face life's challenges. The administration of the Ja'fari Centre stressed that awareness of the issues within our community is extremely important for believers and helps them to stand by the truth and confront falsehood, and the religious consultant service aims to enhance cognitive understanding of the contemporary issues. France's highest court on Monday issued for a second time a verdict in support of the government's decision to proscribe Muslim dress and abaya, ruling the ban announced last month legal. Last week, that 3 unions filed an appeal against the ruling of Council of State upholding bans on abaya on schools, which the court rejected. A lawyer for the Muslim Rights Action (ADM) have also filed an appeal with the Council of State to seek the suspension of the ban on the abaya, which he said violates several fundamental freedoms. The Council of State rejected the ADM's appeals with a strange response, claiming the ban does not seriously violate and is not manifestly illegal to the right of respect for private life, the freedom of religion, the right to education. Let us remind our respective viewers of today's headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi says that some precursory signs of Imam Mahdi Ajjallah Ta'ala Farajuh al-Sharif appearance may not take place. Toronto-based Ja'fari Community Centre launches faith consulting for women service. Top French court upholds ban on Muslim dress, the abaya. Also tonight, Gutierrez says that the only way to end nuclear risk is to eliminate nuclear weapon. Landslide caused by heavy rains have killed at least 6 people and 12 others are still missing in Guatemala's capital city, according to Guatemala's National Coordination for Disaster Reduction Agency. Early on Monday, waters from the Naranjo River rushed through a shanty town in Guatemala City called Dios Esfel, destroying at least 6 homes that had been perched under a bridge. Recovery operations and rescue teams recovered the bodies of 6 people who died due to the heavy rains and triggered the high waters which pushed flows of stones, soil and waste through the settlements. According to the Guatemalan Chamber of Construction, Guatemala has a 59% poverty rate. It also has a housing deficit of about 2 million units, which prompts the construction of informal settlements, often in locations prone to natural disasters. And now we'll continue with some short news. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation for Relief and Development has made it possible for needy families to purchase their real necessities from contractor stores by providing them with shopping carts. One of the most important projects of the organization is the Food Basket Plan, which involves occasional provision of food items to the families of orphans and the needy in different areas and neighborhoods of the holy city of Karbala. In addition to Misbah al-Hussein provides other charity and relief services to families in need through cooperation with a number of non-governmental organizations and charity associations in different cities of Iraq. The issued food cards in this project, which replace food baskets, are delivered to needy families, giving them the opportunity to buy whatever they really need. In a recent update, the World Health Organization reported that in the past year, the recorded cases of cholera have more than doubled in the world, rising from 220,000 to 470,000 in the World Health Organization figures out that Afghanistan has the highest number of patients between the 1st of January of 2022 and 30th of April 2023, followed by Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Iraq, Lebanon, and Pakistan. The disease is caused by ingestion of food or water that contaminated with the bacterium Vibrio cholera, with young children, especially those that age under 5, bearing the brunt of the disease. A mosque in southeast Sweden has been damaged by a suspected arson attack. The Anas Denche, the communication director of the Grand Mosque, told news outlets that they do not intend to give up the mosque and will be rebuilt. Police records show that the mosque has faced threats and was subjected to physical attacks. No one was injured, however. The mosque is unusable and outbreaks of the Danube fever, an acute watery diarrhea, have killed hundreds in war-hit Sudan, medics reported on Monday, warning of catastrophic spreads that could overwhelm the country's disseminated health system. In a statement, the Sudanese Doctors Union warned that this health situation in the southern eastern state of Gutierrez, on the border with Ethiopia, is deteriorating at a horrific rate, with thousands infected, according to the United Nations. For the second time in history, the University of Maryland Medical Center has successfully transplanted a genetically modified pig's heart into a living human recipient. The surgery was performed by the same team that carried out the first experimental surgery in 2022, when the first recipient of a pig heart died 2 months after the transplant, but the organ functioned well. The recipient of this heart, 58-year-old Lawrence Fawcett, is currently breathing independently without any oxygen support, and his heart is functioning well without any assistance from supportive devices. Chinese scientists recently announced that they were able to grow kidneys made of more than 60% human cells inside pig embryos. The Secretary General of the United Nations has called for the complete destruction of nuclear weapons in the world as the only way to eliminate the nuclear risk, when geopolitical mistrust and competition has pushed the nuclear risk to Cold War levels. Total elimination of such weapons is only route to a peaceful future, the UN chief has said. Antonio Guterres tweeted these statements on Tuesday, September 26, to mark the International Day for the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons. Let's work together to banish these devices of destruction to the history books, once and for all. He addressed all nations. Mr. Guterres also called to use the timeless tools of dialogue, diplomacy and negotiation to ease tensions and end the nuclear threat, reminding that disgarment of this heart of this policy brief on a new agenda for peace. Launched in July, it should be also noted that Antonio Guterres had warned last year that one misunderstanding or miscalculation can put humanity on the verge of nuclear annihilation. At the 10th Review Conference of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in New York, Guterres warned that the world was facing a nuclear danger that not seen since the height of the Cold War. A report by the Hindutva Watch indicates that anti-Muslim hate speech incidents in India averaged more than one a day in the first half of 2023 and were seen most in states with upcoming elections. This Washington-based group monitoring attacks on minorities finds that there were 255 documented incidents of hate speech gatherings targeting Muslims in the first half of 2023. The report says that 70% of the incidents took place in states scheduled to hold elections in 2023 and 2024. About 80% of these events took place in areas governed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hindu Nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party, or the BJP, which is widely expected to win the general elections in 2024. Rights group accused Modi administration of mistreating Muslims, but the nationalist government denies the presence of minority abuse. They point to a 2019 citizenship law described as fundamentally discriminatory by United Nations Rights Office for excluding Muslims, migrants, and anti-conversion legislation challenging the constitutionally protected right to freedom of belief, and the 2019 revoking of Muslim-majority Kashmir special status. The report also mentions the demolition of Muslim properties in the name of removing illegal construction and the ban on wearing the hijab in classrooms in Karnataka, where the BJP was in the power in that state. At least 70 members of the Sunni extremist group alshabab were killed on Sunday in a military operation conducted by the Somali National Army backed by local militias in north-central Modag province. The joint force raided al-Shabaab terrorist hideouts and gathering places in the town of Ad. Somali Deputy Information Minister told that local media that the operation led to the killing of some ringleaders of the terrorist group. The operation comes a day after a truck bombing at an army checkpoint in the central town of Beledweyne killed more than 18 people, including 10 security personnel, and wounded more than 40 others. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our viewers of today's headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi says that precursory signs of Imam al-Mahdi Ajjallah Ta'ala Farajuh al-Sharif's reappearance may not take place. Toronto-based Ja'far Community Centre launches Faith Consulting for Women service. Top French court upholds ban on Muslim dress, the abaya. Guatemala says at least 6 people dead and 12 missing in landslides, triggered by heavy rain. Gutierrez says that the only way to end nuclear risk is to eliminate nuclear weapons. Electoral agenda drives anti-Muslim hate speech in India, report finds. Somali Army neutralizes at least 70 alshabab militants. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.